People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning in each and every time. Good afternoon to those of you over here in the UK. As usual, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and actually good morning, depending on, once again, whoever you are and wherever you're situated on this globe. I hope you're all well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you're all feeling well in relation to what you can do. I hope you're all progressing and advancing your lives and whatever, depending on whatever stage of life you're at. So yeah, I hope you're all good. I'm here later than usual. It's a 3 p.m. settings. I can't lie, people. I had a lot to do and actually didn't have time to go gym, but it was a back garden workout. I got the pull-up thing, so I made something happen. Probably won't be here. Well, you know what? If I go gym at the time I normally go gym, then it might be an 11:30 live stream tomorrow, but there's nothing to talk about tomorrow. Still, no sound. What do you mean? I don't do that, man. Hey, but my guy, I thought it was all over. Peter, you're one of the members. You're good, my guy. Hey, Peter, that's that Mookie decision making. You're on that David Luiz or whatever, man. It's like if we was a centre half pairing, you've just, played one under hit pass and it's making me look rubbish now. What's all of that? It's like Kolasinac in the North London derby where he sold David Luiz down the river. You done me dirty, my guy. You know how much I got scared there? You threw me completely off. It's all love. It happens, man. I know you wouldn't say it for no reason. Just check your thing next time, Peter, man. You scared me, my guy. I can't cap. But yeah, like I said, I hope everybody's well and safe and things. I can't even remember what the hell I was on about, until, he's thrown off there. But as I said, I hope you're well and safe. We all know this European League is a jar. It's annoying. And we've all had our opinions. I'm not a fan of it, but I cannot lie. When I look at it, the one thing I would like to see happen, I know we're not going to get rid of corruption. I know we're not going to have a perfect European competition. I know, damn right, we're not even going to have equality because let's be real with ourselves, yeah? UEFA, all of these people talking, Premier League, all these people talking about equality. The Premier League is saying that. They sold the quote-unquote smaller Premier League clubs down the river. The Champions League has had a big club bias for years and whatnot. What I hope is that, everybody's just acting in vested interest. The Premier League, Sky Sports, the clubs, UEFA, it's a bunch of criminals all throwing things and claiming the other person's more dirty than the other. As I always say, there's no honor among thieves, and that is exactly what these big corporations are. They steal from us fans. If they're not stealing our money, they're robbing us of experiences going to the game. They're robbing us of our pride, as seen with what you've seen with some of the clubs we support. There's no honor among thieves. As I always say, and I've been giving the example, if you're a thief, not that I advocate it or whatever was, and you're thieving with someone and you're quote unquote friends and you're thieving together off other people, and then one day you're doing that and then he decides to rob from you or she decides to rob from you, how's there any difference? There's no honor among thieves. And I'm not going to lie, when you listen to what everybody is saying in isolated, away from vested interest, for me, once again, it needs to be a middle ground because I actually see where the clubs are coming from, self-interest aside. I see obviously where UEFA are coming from. I only care about us fans. I hope that this would mean, in an ideal world, a revamped Champions League, Europa League with all of these things put in place. And things like that. Let's be real. They don't care. None of these people care about us fans because you've seen with stuff like this, you've seen during Corona, they don't care about us fans. Sky Sports, they don't care about us fans. All of a sudden, it's region free content. But you took Sky Sport, you took Champions League off a free platform and bought it. Again, Sky Sports, that was BT. Sky Sports, $14.99 in Corona times, and there's plenty of other examples and things like that. Even down to the fact that they don't care about fans because if they did, I know it's not as easy, but if they did care about fans universally, people, there would be maybe 2 streaming platforms or kind of 2 free real universal ways of covering all football, Europa League, Champions League, the top 5 European leagues. It is what it is. Instead, what if you want one? It used to be like that, and then greed came into the game. You can't have Italian, Spanish league and whatnot. If you want that, you have to grab Premier Sports. If you want the Sky Sports games, Sky Sports, BT. Now, big up Amazon. I got nothing around Amazon, but the Amazon thing, and then you can see how. With this Super League stuff, you can see, again, I'm thinking way too ahead, but you can see how things are going to start, regional content, certain other blocked off content, maybe even later stages of competitions costing more. What would actually be a good thing and what I would like to see just to make it more convenient is one-stop sort of access. Like if I buy this Arsenal pass, I get access to all sorts of Arsenal content and let's just say 38 games plus guaranteed Arsenal games and things like that. because I think stuff like that needs to change. You're right, my guy. You know, we're only thought as consumers. I'd go a step better and say we're only thought of as coins. You know, we're coins, because at the end of the day, their opinion is we'll just get over this. We'll just suck it up. We can scream, shout, shake it all about, and we'll just get over it, people. And that's where they're at, man. That's where they're at. It's quite shameful, and it is. No matter what club, even the clubs coming out, and I condone it. I mean, I condone it as well. Even the clubs coming out and criticizing people. Like, I'm not going to sit there and name them, but based on the owners that have taken over certain Merseyside clubs of recent, you don't think if you got an opportunity to join that thing, man, are not joining this thing. And again, what people need to remember and things, especially when Gary Neville, he says some good things and then loses it. Bit funny how why he's talking about the Glazers now rather than prior, you know, is it because he could lose his job at Sky Sports, people, in a sense of he doesn't need money like that. But all of a sudden, if Sky Sports lose Premier League, you lose the top 6, for example, there's no need for them Super Sundays and things. So you can't justify whatever Gary Neville's appearance fee and things like that is. What needs to stop is club versus club. It's not Arsenal. It's not an Arsenal and these things Lynch club. Yes, it's the owners. It's not Arsenal. It's Stan Kroenke. It's not Chelsea. It's Roman Abramovich. It's whoever you know, it's the Glazers. It's whoever you know is the owners of City, and you know, it's Daniel Levy. It's these lot. It's not the clubs versus the club. And I'm quite upset because at the end of the day, as we saw with the fallout with Corona, with actually playing football when Corona was more like, you know, we didn't know how to react. They don't care about fans' welfare. They don't care about clubs' welfare. They don't care about the players. These men are guinea pigs, as shown with all of these things in light, people. They don't care, you know. And football players are the ones to pick up the pieces. And that's what upsets me. When Corona landed, you know, make sure you listen to the Deluded podcast. I dropped it today and I kind of circled back on all of these things. So I'm trying not to go fall in. Please make sure the 108 of you are hitting the like button. But as I was saying, yeah, when Corona first hit and people were losing their jobs and whatnot, I'm not saying no other sports people weren't doing things, but you saw footballers. When it's Christmas and these things, who do you see? Footballers. When it's times of hard times, what do you see? Footballers. Henderson's never forgot where he came from. You know, he could be up his own arse. You know, he could forget about Sunderland. He's won Premier League, Champions Leagues, playing for England. He never misses a beat, you know, and there's many other examples, you know. Who do you see? Henderson calling a captain's meeting with all the clubs. Really? They shouldn't, you know. How can you expect these players to deal with the fallout? You know, they've been thrown into this nonsense like us. I'm not naive. I do think to a degree, managers, players, potentially, they must have heard some sort of rumblings. But if I take it at face value, it's just been thrown upon them. You know, the clubs have acted in their own vested interest, gone against the love of the fans and everything we've spoken about, people, acted behind their backs. You know, the people employed have done their bidding, and then they just left the managers to pick up the slack. How many managers have we seen in press conferences saying, I found out yesterday, I found out this and that? Didn't have any the decency to brief them or employ some PR people to help them deal with it. You know, I feel sorry for Jurgen Klopp, for Arteta, even Ryan Mason to come, just any manager of one of these top 6 sides or any team that has left, people, because they're having to deal with it. And how are they meant to answer? They never made the decisions. And like, you know, with footballers, the one thing that goes against them is the immediate ones. Like I say, you know, we talk about money and stuff, you know. You don't see Stan Kroenke, you don't see Daniel Levy's at the games more, but you don't see him. You see these players, you know, they're ways of getting at the club. So like I said, big up Leeds. I like what Leeds were doing. They were quite childish calling Liverpool Merseyside Reds, and I liked a lot of the stuff. But one thing that left a bit of bad taste in my mouth is that Klopp revealed that the players on their mannequins, they had that same shirt that the Leeds players were wearing. Now, like I said, the message, excluding UEFA, Sam, because again, UEFA's acting in self-interest. I get it. We all believe you should get there on merit. You have no divine right. But the players never made that decision. And so why do that? And maybe even Leeds' players, I hear what you lot are doing, but maybe said, yo, the other players don't deserve that. Because like I said in the Spotify, in my podcast, make sure you're following on Spotify and all of those sort of things, people. I name dropped Henderson, and he's and in a nice way, he's not let me down because he's the one that's spoken. I said, do you think Henderson wants this? Do you think Raheem Sterling, come up from St. Raphael's, Northwest London, you know, born in Jamaica, you think he's on that elitist thing? You know, Rashford, you think he's on this elitist crap? Half of these players, but the grand scheme of things, they're disposable. They're just pawns in the scheme of it, people. It's quite sad, man. It's very upsetting. And again, like I said, it's upsetting because, again, half of these people, if you look at it at face value from a sporting front, I don't think people are getting kicked out of the leagues, and we're hearing the Champions League and UEFA as you were sort of thing, but you've almost taken the gloss out of it because obviously we know there's plenty of reasons for wanting to win the Champs and the Europa. But why? So you've kind of killed people because this is what they're working hard for. You've now put like someone like Mikel Arteta, for whatever you say about him, he's dealt with the wage cuts, he's dealt with several things, and now he's got this. It's not fair. It really isn't. Especially for the managers, they're not there in the boardrooms dealing with the pay packets and all of those sort of things. Let the executives come out and speak. The owners, as much as I want half of you to leave and I don't agree, if you come out and say this is what I'm doing, we can stamp up our feet and whatnot. But to a degree, we've got to take what you said at face value. You've signals our intentions. I'm not on your intentions, sorry. I'm not condoning it, people. But it's like when you try and lie, disgrace Liverpool's mantelpiece, never walk alone, try and hide behind that and use it for different motives. When you use Arsenal's winning through harmony, whatever United's are, Spurs, I can't imagine they've got many, and I don't know how they're in the Super League, but I had to do it, Spurs. But you get the point. It's an absolute joke, people. It's an absolute joke. It's a mockery, people. It's everything that's wrong with football. Again, many people, like I said, when you look at the Super League proposals in isolation, I'm not for it. But when you look at some of the things, potentially with especially women's broadcasting and other things like that, there are some good things. That's why I'm saying I hope a compromise comes, so the good from the Super League, the good from the Champions League, if there is any, try to get rid of this effing corruption and find a middle ground, make sure there's a fairer piece of the pie, because I actually do feel clubs are the brands. While I'm not advocating coming out of competitions and stuff, they do have the right to leverage more of their brands and stuff like that, especially with the TV rights and whatnot. So good juice. Make of that what you will, people. It's quite upsetting. And like I said, when you're told by sons of the owners, be excited, and then you see what transpires. You're now seeing what Arsenal's had. Who the hell is coming out? At the same time, Arsenal, let's be real, I love my football club, regardless, away from this. I love my football club because I love people like you lot, that we love the game. But at the same time, who the hell has come out and spoke at Arsenal? We got one shoddy article on the internet. We've hidden behind Perez speaking and all them other guys. We've probably even hidden behind Woodward and him because he's catching heat for the JP Morgan stuff, We've hidden. We ain't said nothing. We're just complete silence. And then again, you're lucky the fans aren't there because you make it worse. You're hearing that Arsenal fans are at the Emirates. I can imagine probably on Friday there'll be some guys trying to ting. And that's sad for the players because the only time fans can do it is when the players are playing, and the players don't deserve that. Leeds fans, they did fantastic, but the players don't deserve having things thrown at buses and these things. The players are not them. They're not saying it. You think half of these players are for this? They're not for this. I know some of them play for clubs where the owners might have some shoddy CVs and backroom dealings and that, but it's upsetting. And for me, it's everyone invested interest. Like for me, I can't condone Gary Neville because I don't think Gary Neville stands for anything. Do I think he stands for a bit more than others? Yes. Do I think he's got some principles? Yes. But I just think it's a bit fishy how you're now talking about the Glazers and that. Like if it's the straw that broke the camel's back, then fair enough. But it just feels Sky Sports threatening to lose out on some money. They're wheeling out the big guns and they're milking as many debates and whatnot because them Glazer business have been there for years. Talking about the Champions League has been there for years. And if I'm really honest with you lot people, I don't really give a crap when I deep that the noise, the talking, even from the players, big up Bamford for being one of the only people to speak. But even the sheer talk, this has been a talking point. Everyone and their nan is talking about European Super League. Where's the energy for racism? Man sit here and say, let's not make everything a race card, but this tells you everything. So to a degree, as much as when I remove what I've just been saying for the last 13 minutes, I don't really care in the grand scheme of things. Because if man don't respect me as a footballer, as I would not say as a footballer, I would have loved it. Of course, if they don't respect me as a human being, then why do I care about whose money goes to who? Because you lot don't respect, man. The players, I just care you lot get paid regardless. And fans, we can enjoy our thing. To a degree, I don't really rate none of you, like, if that makes sense, man. It's sad, people, and I can't see where we go from here. I don't know how it gets better, but what I will say is the players don't deserve this, people. The players are not the ones doing this, the players don't deserve this. Players do not deserve this, people, man. And this is why I don't care about how much players earn, because at the same time, they're pawns in this game. Footballers would not be offered the sums they're offered if they wasn't so vital to the club, and the club weren't making how much more on them convert commercially and stuff. The club always get to hide behind, and I hope things like this, because I've been telling you lot this, I've been saying these things are on this. I've been telling you about clubs when young players don't want to sign contracts and things. I'm not saying Arsenal. I'm not saying Arsenal because the club is actually not them, but there's plenty of other examples, people. So again, the players deserve everything they get. The players are guinea pigs, man, and the players are like us. They're in the state of disbelief. So we're attacking them. They're obviously being the fool guys for the clubs. This is why, you know, I'll be looking at them shaking, even Arsenal, just based on how we've reacted to a number of incidences over the last year. We ain't done it in the way that's meant to be Arsenal, winning through harmony and things like that. And big up Unai Emery for condemning Arsenal stuff. But at the same time, a lot of these clubs, I have to probably look at, I'm sure a lot of you are doing it through an integrity angle. You're doing it because it's morally right. But let's be real, people. And I'm not just saying this because Arsenal are there. Let's be 100% real. Some of these clubs acting up and condemning it, they're not there because they either didn't get invited or it's not in their best interest. Some people would jump at the chance to join this. And that's everything that's wrong. Because again, these owners do not reflect the club people. And even the effing government in this country, you know, making me sick speaking about such. It's crazy, man. At this, you know, it really is crazy. And will we get better? I'm not sure. Players don't deserve it though. And again, when you're talking about no World Cups and no Euros and all of these things, again, you see how mad it gets. Shout out to Bamford, you know, shout out to Bamford. But at the same time, I'm not really feeling the praise for Bamford, if I'm completely honest with you, because like I feel, nobody should be unnecessarily praised for saying the right things. I'm not saying the same with Bamford because I love him for speaking about it. But I'm just throwing it out there. Where was you before? You know, it's a bit going back to when even Piers Morgan was praised for speaking up about racism. When you were saying we're playing the race card, and who else is there? You know, Gary Nev got a lot of praise for again speaking up about racism. But then we're finding out Sterling's confiding in you in numerous times over that England camp, and you're not doing it. So at the same time, Bamford, I'm not using this as an attack on Bamford. I've got nothing but respect for him because he could have hidden, given some vague answers, you know, just spoken about that, you know, used it as to just not use it. So I like the way he spoke about that. But same time, you know, should have been speaking about this thing. It's simple as that. So shout out to Bamford, but it is what it is, people. It's sad. Where's my manners, people? We're 17 minutes in. Please make sure you're all hitting that like button. What are you lot saying in the chat? Let me see where the likes are at. We're at 84 likes, so it's not too bad, but it's not too great, people. We can do a lot better than that. What are you lot saying, man? Shout out to Jordan Henderson for acting like a proper captain. Facts, because he's a people's champ. Milner, these guys, people forget, you know, and I think maybe if footballer fans weren't so hard on players, they could show more of what they're about. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, you know, people just look at these things from a footballing point of view. He's a real Liverpool lad, you know. You think he wants to do this? You know, Klopp, from his humble beginnings, he don't want to do this. Henderson don't want to do this because they might know if they weren't footballers, life might be a bit different. They might be like a lot of their friends and whatnot, having humble beginnings, so they can't forget themselves. A lot of people forget themselves, but there's bare working, what I class as working class footballers, people. You know, Marcus Rashford, I don't need to sit here and say what he's on and what he's been doing, man. I can't really see it happening. I think there will be compromise. I just think it's a game of chicken, but at the same time, the longer that we go on with this and the less I see of that, the more I'm inclined to believe it's happening, man. Man said, pass the DG, spitting straight facts. I appreciate that, my guy. Big up everybody locked in, man. Big up DG. No matter how you look at it, Stan has played the blinder for himself, not necessarily for Arsenal. Facts. We know. It has become clear Stan's ambition is strong, but it's just not to compete, but to get paid. Sadly, bro, Jay, big up the members. I can't say a damn thing. And like you said, it is a world-class performance from him when you disregard the fact of, like, unlike us and everybody here, we love football in that he's not really put his money in it. No matter, even though Arsenal have been underperforming for years, to put it nicely, you know, commercially, we're still looking strong. You know, one consistency has still been bums on the seats and footfall in the stadium, you know, the kits, all of these things, because we love this game and things like that. And now, if we're in that, you know, I'm sure many fans will sit here and say maybe 3.4 billion, you know, stability of sorts in this. If it does happen, we might start investing. No, that's going to be more complacency. You just have to look at the way the man runs the other clubs. The only thing you might see is, you know, you can imagine the biggest European game taken to stateside. You know, them things there are happening. You know, it's going to be El Clasico in Miami. You know, North London Derby, probably not even going to, bro, there's going to be a dime. North London Derby is not even going to be played in this part of the world. I'm telling you, that's what they're on. You know, it's these sort of things, people. Mad sort of trades and all of those sort of things. You know, football will get to the point where Neymar's playing for Barcelona 1 year, Real Madrid the next, this team, that team. It's going to get that, like biggest stars, biggest this, biggest that. There's going to be no integrity, no morals, no real point for many people to grow up loving a club. You know, it's upsetting and it's really condescending when you hear someone like Perez. I'm 26, but he said what? Young people up until the age of 24 or something, we might have to make matches smaller and a lot of tosh. I mean, this is condescending. And one thing that I think can be said, and I think is upsetting, it doesn't matter if it's FIFA, it doesn't matter if it's FA, Premier League, La Liga, all of these governing bodies at all levels, yeah. Whether it's staying in the Champions League or doing this Super League thing or whatever, yeah, nobody is comfortable with the game that they love being governed by any one of these individuals. And I think that's it. You know, there's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be game playing. You know, they're saying shout out PSG and all of these sort of things, but then you're seeing articles about the working conditions, particularly of migrants in Qatar. And there were similar things in relation to Brazil. So FIFA sounds a bit condescending. UEFA, among many aspects, these clubs around many aspects is Sky Sports, BT, you know, they're not matching up. Even Sky Sports, they waffle about racism and them things there, and they say they learned from it. But when they had a real good chat about racism, did they not lock it off or something like that? If I can remember going back in time. So again, the words don't match up. Integrity is something none of these lot have. The better the devil you know, bro. Now F that, man, because the man that I hear that and it makes sense, but both of them scare me. You know, if you have to be an angel in this thing, you know, you have to be an angel, man. Man said sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts, bro. Trust me, bare mad things, man. Some good juice, DG 2021. I've done that quite a lot. It's a humble tropical thing right now, man. Hope you're good, my guy. Love for the super chat. I didn't even see that the players are being treated like lab rats, been treated like lab rats, and will continue to be, my guy. Man, that was a tongue twister. What have you said? And what had my attention? You know, stylish. I was trying to read that and talk. You've said, as effed as it is from a business point of view, I can't even get mad. And this is the wickedest thing. That's what I was saying at the start. Like when I look at it and I stop emotion, there are some good things for it. No, I'm not saying I want this, but you get it. So there is certain things. And this is why I hope that there's some sort of resolution. I hope there's some mad byproduct and as a regards of this. You know, these clubs better sure as hell get what they want because they're doing a lot of capping if it doesn't bang, 23-year contracts, this, that, and the third. You know, UEFA did some capping. It's now come ahead that allegedly Champions League and Europa League, they will go ahead, as they are. We'll have to see what happens, man. We really will have to see what happens, man. Trust me. You're gonna see all that. Well, you probably see Lozo something at half time, like you see Beyonce or something. It's gonna get shameless, but it's mad. Yeah, trust me. When he forgot that, it was crazy, man. Oh, they'll be rebanding North London Red. This is getting to bookie stages. I bet you Levy's shown he's got no morals as well. So the way they're moving, they probably will try link Arsenal and Spurs up together or something. These lot are moving bookie. I don't know what these lot are on because they've shown me time and time again that they're on something dodgy. I see a lot of you. That's a bit an insensitive comment. You're going to get blocked for that because he doesn't need that. A lot of you keep talking about this, so I might as well show it, people. For those who don't know, let me keep an element of surprise. There you have it, folks. So obviously, shout out to Pippa. He's on BBC yesterday. So yeah, go and take that one in. I've pinned the message, people. Calm W for man. I was there. I didn't speak with Beth, but they squashed the videos together. So shout out to Beth and whatnot. Shout out to Nesta as well. But yeah, you can see, man, on a quick thing, Listen. Sorry, but it's a DG thing. Competitions that hey, my face in that. Hey, screenshot for good luck. Hey. I don't like it. I believe football is meant to be on merit. This shows me that we're monopolizing things. This tells me that them big words there, people. You hear them ones there? Giant killings are happening in terms of I show up the face, man. For the few players, a few clubs benefit from it and just further confirm screenshots. No, not screenshots there. I will set myself up there. But yeah, people, on a serious note, I must have seen some decent looking chicken or something in the corner of my eyes. But on a serious note, if you want to take that one in after, people, we're there in it. We're there. So yeah, we keep trying, man. Had the dictionary out. The ones there. Big up everyone for the love there, man. I don't know about global yet, but small. Like I said, once again, I'm thankful for you lot because you lot pushed me into been able to even be considered for such. And shout out to the boss lady Pippa as well, because she played a Mesut Ozil through ball. And, you know, I'm moving like Lacazette this season. I finished my dinner in it. So, yeah, shout out to her for that one still. Bro, they're shameless. They'll do things like that. You can't really trust them. You can't, man. You can't. From you've got no integrity. You're bookie. You will do anything. You know. You probably make Arsenal have a stadium in Tottenham. Make Spurs have a one in Islington. You know. They'll do shameless things, man. You know. They'll do a madness. Love for that, my guy. Love for that. You gotta enjoy these small W's, man. Deluded thoughts shit. I got a couple episodes on that. I should drop one really. I've done it before this actually came out, so it might put some things into perspective. Here's my thing about Arsenal. I'm not sure if we'd be crying and moaning, but fair play. Man said Icy Freeze did it again. If you know, you know. Yeah, love for that. You're good at PR, DJ. Man said PR. Love, man. Come on. Love for the love. You lot are giving me love, man. I'm making sure I'm getting all your comments. I didn't even see it when it was on TV, allegedly. And that's what, third time on TV now, hat trick. Let's try and make it a permanent thing or see some bread from it. Price gone up, though. In COVID times, price gone up, though. You know, my price was 50 million. I'm feeling a 70 million 5-year deal. I have to play left wing and centre mid and them things there. Cam, in fact. Bro. Man said for PM. I'm not sure for that one there. I'm not sure for that one, man. Come on, my guy, man. Love for that. Love for the thingies, man. Love for the positivities. But what else are you lot saying? ESL exposed the hypocrites in football. G Nev is a disgrace. Bro, there's bare hypocrites in football. And really, to a degree, we're all hypocrites. Not like this, but from a footballing terms, we are. So I'm not. You don't think this is a hate campaign of Neville. Neville might, for me, anyways. Neville might have legit reasons for this. It might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. He's had enough. But I just feel you've had time after time to speak about these things, because it's all that this has done has highlighted the greed, the lack of integrity, the lack of love for the fans, doing fans dirty. All the things we talk about in football is put it to light. You know it's there, bro. You're Mr. Manchester. You might be peed up, but I'm sure you're still on the ground. You own Salford. You see how real things get. You might have the nice car and the nice watch, but you see it. But it's nothing to do with you, so you don't care. Half of these pundits that are saying it, they don't care. They just want to be seen saying the right things, like every sort of thing in life, like with stuff that happens, sadly, people losing their lives or tragedies. People just half these people just want to be seen saying the right thing, so man can say, wow, they're not doing it through integrity, because again, their CV will show. It will show for what they've done. What have you been doing, man? It's mad, man. Hey, man. Guy gotta get dollar, man. You know how it is, bro. Okay, I can't sit here and lie, but I'm in the hood, so boy. While I think it lacks of integrity, what am I meant to do? Am I gonna pay my bills? It's like these footballers, they're still gonna manage, Guys, sports, one man shout me, that would be a good opportunity. Why not? Double the rates, though. Double the rates, man. What else are you guys saying, people? And as Ozil's PR light, man. And this is it for me, fundamentally, man. Same energy. That's why, to a degree, I don't really care, man. Gary, Jamie Carragher, I rate him, but still, even he has to throw, not so much the Gary Neville one, but even he has to go over it as well, car. He's had a couple ones as well. It's one of those ones there, man. Congrats on making the BBC article one of the leading Arsenal voices. Not sure about leading, but nonetheless, done know, my guy. Thank you very much for that, man. Everyone wants a piece of the pie. Can't wait to see Arsenal versus Barcelona in Atlanta. Trust me, bro. Trust me. That's what's going to happen. And it's just going to get franchising and all of these things. The game's going to get mad, and, it's scary where it's going. But I don't say I take pride, but one thing I've accepted that we have to try something, man. Man said, can Sky Sports just replace Michael Richards with DJ? There's not many Icy Frees up in there, so let's keep Michael Richards, but I would love to go there. Why not, man? I can't lie, man. Michael Richards got one of them, man. He makes man laugh because he laughs. Last one to hit the like button is a Kroenke. You might kill me with some of this. Gonna be an all-star weekend. Yo, you're gonna see that, man. And this is it. And even as much as I rate half of these teams talking about it, You know, remember a few years ago, there was teams that was in the championship not too long ago that were threatening to break away from the football league as a result of TV rights. So my point is nobody's hands are fully clean, you know, by all means, these clubs, and when I mean clubs, I mean specifically the owners, you know, they need to face the music, but nobody's hands are fully clean, people. So it is what it is firmly in that regards, people. The players don't deserve this. Let's get it. You know, it's half an hour in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, people. I'm trying to find the initial article I wanted to speak to you lot about, people, regarding Kroenke and the fallout and all of those sort of things. Let me actually zoom out because I can't see a thing. What's this one there? Apparently, Vinay is going to be talking. Is going to be talking, people, at some point. Where is it, people? I've done you lot dirty. I'm all over the shop, man. Let me just type in Stan Kroenke because there's, you know, we're all the one thing we're all wondering is, you know, what is happening in relation to Arsenal. You know, what is going on? And this is the first newspaper article I can find. I've already done that, but zooming in, like you can see here, people. You know, Stan Kroenke is absent from showdown talks as Arsenal players raise concerns, as they should. The first thing I would say is it's quite upsetting. You know, again, the owner is the owner. He can somewhat do what he wants, but I'm sure the captain of this club, the manager of this club, they ain't had too many interactions with Stan Kroenke. And how can you expect to get what the club is about? You know, it's upsetting. And again, like I said earlier, the main thing that scares me, sorry, people, 1 second. Where was we at? Let's say we was 30. Sorry, people. Right back to it now. Yeah. The one thing that concerns me is the timing of it, because it's almost like we're announcing it, we're doing it, deal with it, in it, and that's not giving Arteta any time to prepare himself mentally and emotionally process it and how it affects him. Because people are gonna say, there's people out there that are saying, why doesn't Klopp, Tuchel, all of these guys resign? And they could, and there's legit reason to that. But come on now, at the same time, why don't these players do this? Why don't they do that? They've left them. They've let them just leave them to just to just get on with it. You know, look at Thomas Tuchel. You know, all he should be doing is answering questions about Chelsea, Champions League, top four, how they beat City, can they get to this final? The fact that I took over at the halfway period, he's been in the club 2 minutes there. You know, how can you expect him to answer these questions and whatnot? They're not clued up. They're footballing men. Let the accountants and the and the marketing people and the owners, these are the guys that the people of Vinay's sort of thing, that these are the guys that need to speak about it, because they were more probably hands-on with getting this sort of thing done. But instead, out of sight, out of mind, apparently, people, Arsenal's players were reportedly unaware of plans for a breakaway league and held talks with Arsenal bosses amid fears they could be banned from playing in the Premier League or for their countries. Now, obviously, regardless of if you like these Arsenal footballers or not one player deserves to be disallowed from playing for his country just because of the choices his club has made. As we know, football player power is at the strongest it's been. You still cannot wake up tomorrow and say, do you know what, F this club, I'm leaving. It's difficult than that. So they're being crippled. They're really at the club's mercy. And that's why people like Stan Kroenke and things can afford not to tell these players, because they're going to be asking Arteta, and Arteta's going to probably have to give half-assed answers because he don't know. I don't know how much Edu knows. You'd imagine Vinay is clued up on this or has been briefed, because allegedly tomorrow he'll be speaking to supporters, and he's clearly somewhat the fall guy for Kroenke because he's going to face the music. He gets paid for that sort of stuff, you know. This is why they could do it, and they're denying a lot of these players, whether they're at prime ages. Some of them are almost calling it a day. It's upsetting, people. You know, it's upsetting. I don't know why that's playing, but fair play. That's why she clicked. None of them things there. But as you lot can see, people, he was reportedly absent. Arsenal players are understood to have been in the dark over plans, which has obviously rocked football. And again, people, when we just look at it, you know, it came out on Sunday. Them man there, Arteta, the players, they were playing. We should just be talking about we should just be speaking about about what happened on the footballing thing, man. You know, we should just be speaking about the Fulham game. Suddenly, Arteta's having to ask, how long did... Man are questioning the players' integrity, you know. How long did you not know? People are saying Arteta, you know, because we could sit here and say, Arteta's just taking this job. He's become the manager. He's here for the long term. Would they not brief him indirectly on long term what's going on with the club? I don't know. I'm playing devil's advocate, but this is the sort of bullets that the club is making these sort of people step in front now because of this. The human decency would have been to at least give these lot proper knowledge and advise them, not just do this off the cuff. Because for them, it's thrown in them. To us as fans, it is. But this is calculated. These are real money men. Regardless what you think about them as football men, whether they've grown up with money, whatever, however they've got it, they're money men. The common theme around businessmen, successful businessmen, you never make decisions based on emotion. You make calculated decisions. So do I believe you woke up on Saturday and said, tomorrow we do this? The man, they have known for months they're doing this. They've known they're thinking about this. They've known it's all calculated. They've all collaborated. They've all done the chum stuff, you know. So again, it makes it immoral. And when you look at Arsenal and the way we've handled the carts, how we've handled cuts to players carts, staff carts, Gunnosaurus, this, you know, even the way we've been doing things just in general, you know, it's not really been the Arsenal way, people. And apparently, players have been in meetings with club bosses throughout Monday, according to Goal, which I guess is goal.com, amid concerns they might be banned from playing in the Premier League or representing their countries, people, which obviously would be a problem. And as you look can see there, Kroenke is not due to fly. So again, they've got no morals, they've got no human decency. Vinay has been leading the talks and explaining why the club are backing the plans for the Super League. The 73-year-old has been appointed as a vice chairman of the Super League. That is Stan Kroenke. So yeah, he's almost of this. I've made my decision. You have to live with it, people, and they've been met with widespread criticism, deservedly so. But you can imagine all Arsenal are of the feeling that you're gonna have to deal with it, you know. And again, it's an immoral game, and especially whether you've played for Arsenal, man, loved Arsenal forever long, it's quite upsetting, people. So again, I'm not gonna bore you lot with another article of such people. So it's upsetting, isn't it? Really and truly. What else can you lot say? You know, it's quite sad, man. Kroenke out, fully get that. Fully get that, people. What else he looks in? Apparently, UEFA's only mad because they're turning Euro Champions League into a generic Super League. True, you know, it's the lesser of two evils. Like somebody said, it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know, and things like that. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. Angus is saying Stan Kroenke has messed up my home city club of St. Louis and is now ready to mess up Arsenal too. And Angus, you know, from your saying that, because you've seen it firsthand, my guy, you can tell me better. You can tell me better than I can tell these lot. You've probably seen the stages to the madness Kroenke does. You've probably seen, you know, you probably could sit here and probably tell us this is just the beginning. It's going to get a lot worse, or this is this part, you know, and it's upsetting that you have to sit here and in another sport as well, you're seeing the same thing play out. It's mad. Trust me, bro. Just ignore it. Love for the moderators on job. You know, there's always going to be sad idiots, but the show must go on. Everybody out. Trust me, man. Is what it is, man. Hey, man, stop being sorry you're late. It really is sad how we've got to this. bro, this that just came up by mistake. My bad, Curtis. I tried to get rid of that, you know. That was my one. You know, you got these silly idiots. But yeah, people, keep the comments coming, keep them coming. This was G Nev. Time to shine. Don't get it twisted. Trust me, bro. Opportunist, bro. This was his time to shine, bro. You know, again, self-interest. Want to be seen saying the right things. Do you think Arteta knew? On one hand, I think to a degree, you must have been briefed because of the example I just said. But at the same time, no, because who is Arteta? Arteta is extremely disposable. You know, he ain't got the biggest of wages in terms of getting rid of him in terms of compensation. He's not got a mad contract length. It's Stan Kroenke's club. Like, who is he? You know, these managers and things are disposable. So I don't think they would. He's a footballing man. He's, you know, I would have imagined they must have told him. I would have hoped they've told him, but I think he's been kept in the dark, man. You know, apparently, you know, but I don't know until Arteta says it. Who knows, man? Who knows, people? What have you said? Somebody said football is about risk and reward. Football is about risk and reward. The idea of sticking by your club for anything. I've been at Europa League games at Arsenal, and the atmosphere is amazing. This is a tragedy to football. How do you feel about this? I've already offered it, you know. And this is another thing, Edward, you're right. You know, that's something I didn't actually focus on, you know. Again, it opens up the door of even clubs that are not in Europe to get involved. Again, money talks. And this is it. Can't remember, you know, cannot forget apologies, you know, cannot forget, you know. No wonder he didn't want to invest. This is a complacent man's dream. For a man that has to sit there and do nothing and be self-sustaining and leave people to their own devices and self-interest and self-conflicts is what it is, man. You know, this is why we're at here. To be fair, I get the vibe Carragher cares a bit more. Gary Neville, I struggle really. I think he cares, but I just feel it's a You're forcing it. Like, it's to some degree, it feels authentic with Gary Neville, but it don't feel authentic if it makes sense to you lot people. It doesn't. And like I said, it's another example of these clubs just doing things dirty, really and truly. So yeah, people. Away from that, what have we saw here? We can go and we'll look at this article as well. For those of you who love an article, people, big up the 286 of you locked in. Please make sure you hit the like button, man. You know, it does feel big up, Chris. I see your comment about me on the BBC. It does feel a bit fake. Like I said, when you're just coming around it, when it's the cool thing to say, I find it a bit difficult. Like racism with certain individuals, I find it a bit, you know, you're just saying it because it's the cool thing right now. I don't know, man. You know, and this is it. Them and they'll be the first. Anyways, people, as you lot can see here, people, Arsenal are set to provide first update after European Super League announcement. Chief Executive Vinay Venkatesham will address supporters about the European Super League on Thursday, 2 days from now, at a fans forum. So again, you can imagine Arsenal are going to make sure only certain questions can be asked, but those that are able to apply pressure, they'll do what they need to do, people, in that regards. So yeah, as you lot can see here, people, we already know that's the same old jargon. So yeah, there'll be a fans forum, and the call is scheduled for 30 minutes, and it's on Zoom as well, so the tension is even more taken out, people. Football London has said Football London understands that the bulk of the first team squad learnt the news on Monday morning, with further reports claiming that Vinay spoke to first team staff about what it would mean for them and why the club had taken the decision to join. Football London spoke with a member of the Arsenal first team squad on Monday evening who had no idea about the Super League and could not believe the potential ramifications being spoke about. Now, obviously, at the same time, you're scaring players. You know, young Bukayo Saka, I don't think he's like this, but he ain't done nothing wrong other than learn football, improve himself, and he's living the dream. In general, he's now been disallowed of the opportunity, or he's been issued a threat of saying you might not be able to play at a Euros, or you might not be able to play at a World Cup. And when you factor in he's just signed the deal, that can give a man sleepless nights. You're robbing him of the whole reason he's become a footballer, you know. And there's plenty of other examples about the Arsenal squad. I fully believe these players found out when we found out, because who are these players to the club? These players are disposable. Let's be real, away from this and just on ability. Not only are they disposable, a lot of them are punching. You know, a lot of them shouldn't be here. So I just feel at that time, you know, I just feel they've done these players dirty, people. They've done them dirty. It's sickening. Like Sean has said, man, it's sickening. It's absolutely sickening. It doesn't make sense, people. And apparently, Mikel Arteta was twice asked about the Super League in his post-game press conference after the 1-1 draw with Fulham on Sunday. He said he knew nothing about it. Understands, and then Football London's gone on to say neither the manager or the players were consulted at any stage of the process towards joining the competition because their opinion don't matter. Like, bro, your job is to play in it. Your job is to manage in it. Your job is not to talk about or speak about how much money this is bringing in or what it means. You're not here for that. So, you know, how much is a player's shelf life in professional football? Probably 15 years. A lot of these players don't have that at Arsenal. So your opinion don't really matter. As I said, allegedly, we've signed a 23-year deal. So I'm pretty sure not a lot of these players would be here for 23 years. I mean, Saka, if you can stay at the same age forever, then yeah, you're the only exception. But you get the point, man. You get the point. So it is what it is in that regards, and that there, folks, people. You know, it is what it is. It really is what it is. What's this? We say 14. Sorry, people, it's timestamp business, as you know. Please make sure you're hitting that like button as usual. We're going to get right back to it in just a moment, folks. Super League, that is that. You know, I'm so thoughtful for the guys that aren't here. 317 of you. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. I appreciate all of you here this afternoon, people. We're at 180 likes. Can we grab that to 200? Or we should have 300, because there's 317 of you locked in, people. You know, it's a myth. It really is. We have to do everything we can. But again, what is it? You know, we need to screaming and shouting helps, but apart from just getting the emotion out there and tiring us out, that isn't going to help. We need a tangible thing. I don't know what the answer is, but we need a real thing. Like, if there's a real way, a strategic way, if somebody out there can think of a way and we can do this thing properly, then we all need to get behind it. But we can't do this half-arcs. And I think Arsenal fans would need to be together. Let's be real. Arsenal fans are divided for a lot of reasons. There's Arsenal fans that can be a bit shrewdy and actually just look down their nose at fans that might talk a different way to them and whatnot. And the likewise vice versa. You get the point, you know. We all Arsenal fans, the collective goal is that we love this club. So when we can unite, when we can find a tangible way of going about this, then something can start, man. Boycotting in theory is the only answer. But for every one of me and you, every one of me and you, there's about 20 people that will be grabbing them seats and whatnot. So it is what it is. So it's a problem, man. It's an absolute problem. Well, Wenger calls a lot of stuff, man. You know, I'll be so real. As Arsenal fans, we got to firm it. Sadly, at this moment in general, you know, that's all we can do, as well as do what we can to make it known to these clubs that we're not with it. You know, that's the most we can do, I believe, at this moment in time. Just let it be made abundantly clear that we don't rock with this, really. You know, shout out to the Arsenal fans that went and put up them banners them around the Emirates, and allegedly they've been taking it down, man. Bro, again, did he really help? Like, one thing we have to be real about. That's all Arsene Wenger. Like, come on, man. This is it as well. Miles, if you're pro Super League, I'd love to hear your reasons. I don't know if you're right. I don't know if you're wrong. I'd just love to hear your reasons. And I know many people will be quick to call that stupid and all of these sort of things. They'll get around that, man. There's too much money in this. There's too much money. You think the government are not involved in this thing as well? Like, they're just worried about their bread. You know, look how much, regardless of if we're in this Super League or not, at some level, football, the money is going to trickle down into the UK economy. Now, we're looking at the clubs and stuff, but they still got to pay taxes. The government just want their peas. Half of the, bro, you got Miss Patel. She's out here spending like 70 bags in Primark and on eyebrows. You think, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Cash is king, brother. For the casual fan and non-soccer fan, knowing about this can generate lots of sales. Just saying, probably why they've done it, man. This is just the way things are going. Look at the dominance of companies like Amazon, Google. They monopolize markets. Same-ish happening here. What's up, DG? Love for being here. He said, I don't know how I feel about this. I will never stop watching Arsenal. As soon as they move to the Emirates, we've been moving like we don't need to compete. We need to write like the Liverpool lot. I'm not pro league. I'm not pro Super League unless it mainly the money we can actually improve from this. I hear you from a money thing, but that's it. You know, we're gonna sit here and we're still gonna be the same. You know, we're still gonna be the same. You think again? I hope you're right, Miles. If it does happen, but you think just because we've got the luxury of being there now and 3.5 billion, we're now gonna sign the left backs in all the areas we want? Come on, man. But Boris ain't got nothing to do with this, man. I hear you, but he can't do nothing, man. He can't do nothing, man. Can't do a damn thing. Can't do a damn thing, man. You know, we're going to get into a weird game where football's just one of them where everybody buys every. And if you are like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't think football should ever get into a way where managers supporting everything because you stand for nothing. I think we're going to go there. Everyone's going to have the same shirts and everything. Like I said earlier, Neymar one day might play for Real Madrid, then Barca, then, you know, this and that. You know, 1 week someone plays for Spurs, then Arsenal. We're going to get into this mad stuff, people. It's getting into that mad world, man. Trust me, man. I honestly thought it was a good idea before what's the main conversation thing. So you basically thought in theory it was certified, but what they've actually put in front of you, this actual product, you're not with it. Fair play. The cost of players will skyrocket again. Just seeing there's a captain's meeting. Hopefully the players will have some power. What can they do? What can realistically, you know, I hope they can do something and let it be known. They can obviously take it far and say we're not playing and stuff like that. I don't think they're going to do that though. Apart from scream and shout, let it be made abundantly clear to the fans that they're not with this. There isn't really anything they can do, really and truly, bro. Like in our case, John, like you're saying, if man have moved NFL teams from one city to another, these sort of things is light work, absolute light work. You know, especially considering what this means to the British fans as well. You know. It's crazy. Love for that, Cam. Probably, but many fans would say probably want Aubameyang to not show up on time in this one, man. You know, You know, they can do something, but it's going to need to be a real movement. And let's be real, you know, these players, you're going to have some man on it say we refuse to play. Some man are going to buckle under the pressure. Some man are going to just, like what you see with other things, like, nah, man, we shouldn't do that. Some people are going to say, let's send these half-arcs, you know, messages while we're playing. You know, you're going to need a lot of players that are prepared to probably have some serious legal fights, really refuse to play. I think refusing to play is the only way you get in it. Refusing to play. Maybe even if they will refuse to play their next fixtures. But again, these things are not happening, man. They're capping, man. And even if they do, you know, the government be losing out on money because they're losing out on British taxes. And you think the Tory government, not to make it about that, want to miss out on money? Mad, man. Madness. Half-time multi-ball. So the Prem can't chat nothing to them, but I would love to see fans have some more ownership, fans be able to block things like that, because it just gives us peace of mind, man. You know, fair play if you say most players don't give a F, but I think that's a bit naive. Nonetheless, it is what it is. We're at 200 likes. Can we grab this up to 300? Big up Claudius in the chat as well. Football will lose competitiveness and become more of an entertainment. We're already there, my guy. That's exactly what it is, man. Government can't do anything apart from affecting the UK club somehow, but this is a world/European issue. Reggie Thoughts, love for the super chat. Apparently, the ESL violates their contract in some sort of way, so they have a legal leg to stand on if they refuse to play. And that's what I'm saying. That's the only way of grabbing it. You know, that's the only way of doing it, man. Mike, I hear you, my guy. Vent your frustration, man. A lot of you do, man. You get it. You know, it is what it is. What was it? Who was it? Was it China Lee yesterday? He was saying, I need to talk. I need to use my voice. And then he said, yeah, I'm vexed. Like, bro, I hear it, man. I hear it. When the throw-in rules were changed, the English FA was asked because they own the rights like copyright. They could say you can't use our product. Fair play. Power is in money. If fans boycott, they'll have no choice. But again, the fans are feeble, bro. It's like the players; they'll be feeble. It's like anything, you know. People sold out Marcus Garvey. If the players say we're doing it, you know, if 100 players say, you know what, let's do this thing. I bet you when it comes to doing this thing, that number's going to drop to about 40. You know, a couple man are still going to be down with it. Couple people are going to say, let's play and do the message stuff. Couple people are going to start moving scared. Couple people are on it and going to start thinking about their own personal finances, which, as much as I think we should all care about the collective, I can't tell an ex-man or woman to not care about their pay packet. That's why I find it very hard when man say this guy should leave, they should leave, whatever, and these sort of things there, you know. So I 100% agree, but they'll need to do it properly. You know, it's like the protest stuff. Fans could say we're protesting the Emirates, and if man are serious with this and we unite and we boycott around many things, then why not? But at the same time, couple people are not going to follow through, and it's just going to look silly again and again, man. You know, they know we will bend but never break. We'll always support our clubs, and there must be a way to run them out, man. Must be a way to run them out, man. I've already been speaking about it, Pascal. You know, if you know, you know. If you're not, you're not. Just scroll back, man. I'm not going to circle back over the same things. With respect, my dude. Fair play. Bro, won't do anything, man. Arsenal will be just like how it is in terms of the way the people who are speaking about it. Silent, non-existent, didn't know you was there, just in it for the sake of being in it. You know, you wouldn't know we're in it because there's been complete silence. We ain't even done it with our chest and say we're in it. Real Madrid, not that I condone it. They said we're doing this thing with our chest. Don't think an English club has because they shook now. You know, and again, the owners are not on this, man. Simple, man. We need to, and do you know what? It's not even just an Arsenal thing. There needs to be a way of fans universally uniting over this. If you can find that, then it's a thing. You know, like my man said, Boris can't even comb his hair. What's he gonna do? Trust me. And I don't want Boris to do anything because I would hate for him to be the hero about this. I don't really like the man. Fair play. It would be very interesting. Big up Dermot, by the way. Please make sure you're all hitting the like button, people. We're at 216. We're moving ever closer to 300 people. Let's keep doing what we need to do, man. I can't see it happening if I'm being honest. Just strikes me as a negotiating tool. Trust. Senior said, I love it. Can't wait for it to happen. You lot that do love it, please let me know your reasons just so I could see something, man. Like, because at the same time, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just I would love to know your reasons. Because like I said, in principle, away from what I believe should happen, which isn't this, some of the things, if incorporated to the Champions League, could be a good thing. You know, it is what it is. Tino, pattern up, man. So fair play. The biggest problem, capitalism is getting out of hand. The biggest problem with watering down the merit-based system is less opportunity for smaller clubs to progress, weakens overall competition. 100% fact. Come on, man. You know, exactly the way Marcus Garvey went out again, bro. Whenever somebody tries to make change, both in society or in football, it's always a witch hunt, bro. They'll always be, they're the man that dies on the sword. And then you look back and say they were right and that, you know. And again, the CV, like, you know, like thingy, Gary Nev might be right about what he's saying, but I need to look at the CV. When else were you talking about this? You know, why are you just popping up with it now? Oh, Guna Luke, Man City and Chelsea, definitely not forced into this. Two of the strongest teams in the Premier League in terms of financial backing, two of the most powerfulest sort of people them are backing them in society. Roman Abramovich ain't taking nothing. The people that back City aren't taking nothing. They're only doing it unless it benefits them. So nobody's forced to do anything. If anything, you'd be forced to not joining it. Who's gonna what? No one can put a gun to your head and do things like that. It's crazy, man. To be fair, I think they'll be welcome back because you missed them at the end of the day. Nothing has happened right now, isn't it? It's just a bunch of talk. I know there might be legal work, but nothing has happened. So, yeah, man. Apparently, we will be playing. You know, apparently we will be playing. Arsenal are in a position to win from this. It's therefore crooked, but championship and lower sides are the people who need to worry, not the 12 clubs involved who own 75% of the top 100 active players. And I think that's a very dim way because, you know, what if they stop owning them? You know, it's not really, that's not, you know, football's of equality. That's I hear you, Alexander, but that's almost of not my problem. I don't need to care. And if we was all like that in society, it's crazy, man. And this is something along the lines of my thinking loosely. I'm not pro Super League, but I'm not pro UEFA either. They're the reason why we got in the first place. And that's how I feel, you know. Do we just stick with what's happened or do we try and find a middle ground, man? And this is it. I don't think someone needs to just do everything. But again, I should have seen man standing up, you know, but I didn't. Fans are powerful, but once again, there needs to be a proper way of going about it and a proper way of doing it, man. We can't just do it for the sake of doing it, or it's just gonna be, you know, we'll scream, we'll shout, and eventually it is what it is, man. You know, we need to find a proper way, man. You know, Rupert Murdoch and all of those things. Sky Sports is crazy, man. You know, exactly. You can't be forced. You're not forced. What are you forced into? What are you forced into? Especially when nobody had knew and nothing about this. I'm sure if you were forced and you know you told us publicly, I'm sure football would condemn it, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You can't believe it. Anything these lot say, man. DG, you deserve 10 times the views you have. Maybe one day, my guy, but until then, we keep working, man. We keep working. That's why I'm okay with using them as leverage over UEFA. Trust me. Trust me. That's why I don't mind that either. That's why I don't mind that either, people. Should we see what Perez has said? Allegedly, people. Florentino Perez issues warning to Arsenal, Chelsea, and Tottenham after Super League backlash. Let's see. And I told you, lot, man, clubs are going to get done dirty because the same way everybody's saying we're all eating, we're all getting 3.5 billion. A couple of other clubs are going to look at Arsenal and Spurs in a couple of years and say, listen, you lot don't deserve that. Get rid of that, you know. DG, violence is never the answer. I didn't say anything about violence. I don't know what the hell you're on about, but okay. And I mean, should I can't help myself, you know. You might be right, and I'm not inciting violence, but the very, you know, I might be speaking German if you know England versus Germany didn't happen, you know. Slavery, I'm sure slavery would have been slavery without violence would have had a great time stopping, wouldn't it? Anything in life stops without violence, doesn't it? Come on, man. I think you're speaking from a position of privilege there. Violence is a necessary evil sometimes to really get what you want. Again, we're going off topic, but as you lot can see, let's actually try and go down to it, man. Big up Football London, but one thing they do is just add a lot of jargon, blood. Like, what has Perez said that is of thingy? So I can't really see it, people. Apparently the contract is blinding. You know, there's nothing here, people. There's really nothing here, so it's just clickbait, man. It is what it is. As you lot can see, though, 14 Premier League clubs unanimously and vigorously reject plans for the competition. As you lot know, Premier League clubs actually had a meeting without this big six. And yeah, in a 2.5 meeting chaired by Richard Masters, they've explored ways to collectively respond to the proposals, obviously to deadlock and gridlock these things from happening. As you lot know already, big up Wanyama, but apparently Henderson, I'm not going to read the whole article, but Henderson has called for an emergency meeting between the Premier League's captain, and he's set to spearhead a response to Premier League Super League proposals. So again, I'm sure every side is prepared for a mazza, you know, and as they should be. They should all be prepared for war. regardless if you want Super League, if you don't want Super League, you're gonna have to see, man. You're really gonna have to see. Oh, anything in life, any sort of change, you'll find violence. You know, man said get drunk. Facts. Let's leave it at that, man. Trust, I don't know about them shortcuts, but I love for that, man. They can reject it all they want. It's going to happen in some format. That's a shame, man. Players should sit down, enrich themselves, and this is above their pay grade. It might not be bad if there's room for more non-elite teams. I think people are talking about Chelsea at the stadium now. Thank you, Arsenal. As if the situation in India wasn't getting worse, Arsenal destroyed the one thing that gives me hope. I'm not sure what's going down in India, but yeah, thoughts and prayers if it's something serious. Like I said, I don't know, man. And to be fair with you, let's be a bit fair because we don't know what Aubameyang is or isn't doing, and I'm pretty sure Henderson has a nice car, and I'm pretty sure Aubameyang doesn't want this. So, and again, let's just be a bit fair. It's an easy shot at the players, and really, it's not for Henderson or Aubameyang to speak. Big up Henderson, but it's not for them, man. I support change. However, this Super League thing is a mad one. Even the 36 team Champions League is not great as well. Exactly. This is just a common theme in modern life. This is very upsetting to hear people say. Once again, I'm a fan of the Super League. I think it's a good idea. Um, you know, if once again, I'm asking not because I'm trying to catch you lot out, but you lot that say you think it's a good idea, I need tangible reasons. Like only one guy has provided a tangible reason. Your manager saying they like it, and even for people saying they don't like it, reasons beyond the obvious. Just in the want of seeking further knowledge. Bayern Munich aren't going to join. This is it, Aubameyang's battling malaria, bro. Malaria, bro. Like you get it. India's got mad COVID cases and no testing because of election politics. That's very sad to hear. So again, my thoughts and prayers go out to all the Indian viewers and Indian people going through tough times, man. Is there a twist? Where is this twist, Andy? Oh, it would be lovely if it was for charity, man. What a way to kill the beautiful game. 100%. It's quite upsetting, people. Really upsetting. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here, people. We've been here over an hour. I'll aim to be back tomorrow, but I don't know if there'll be anything to be able to speak about, people. So, yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for all the support. Thank you very much for all the subscribers and whatnot, because if we didn't have that, then you wouldn't see things like this. Once again, blow, bow. What? There you see it. You see it. You're there, people. So, again, if you want to take in that, you take that in. But for now, I'm going to keep it moving, people. We've spoken about it. Kind of upset as well, man, because of what we've been speaking about. So I'm just going to keep it moving, people. So, yeah, I'll see you lot later, people. I'll see you lot probably tomorrow. On that note, I'm out, man.